Hi everybody, this is Spring Washam. I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel, and I'd like to welcome you to the first video in a series. Now, I'm so excited to be sharing this video series with you. We will be making 16 videos based on the chapters in A Fierce Heart, Finding Strength, Courage, and Wisdom in Any Moment. And that is my new book that came out, and I'm so excited to give a deeper teaching, a more understanding, and a heartfelt understanding about what each chapter is really about. So we are at chapter number 1, where it all starts, Blooming in the Mud. Well, this chapter is one of my favorite chapters, and it kind of starts out the whole storyline here. Blooming in the mud. So many great beings have bloomed in the mud. And I always say my life is like a lotus flower, that it can bloom for 1,000 years in the muddiest of waters. And so I talk about where I was born in East Long Beach, and my parents were all crazy, and they were actually breaking up when my mother was pregnant for me. So it was not a celebration. Actually, they were moving out of one apartment to another, and we lived around in this low-income housing, and there was all these gangsters everywhere. My dad was running off and doing drugs and out with other women, and oh, it was a mess, right? Here I am, born into that. But so what? So many of us are. That does not have to define you. It did not define me. It didn't mean it didn't hurt, but it didn't define me. Because it doesn't really matter where you come from. And you know, we used to hear that. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you're going. But that is so true, because whatever you've been to up until now, your greatest chapters are yet to come. And many of us have come from difficult situations of trauma or suffering. And blooming in the mud is meant to inspire you. Let's start now, grow now. Wherever it is, even in the, you might be going through a terrible breakup, or homeless, or maybe your family, you are not connected to them anymore, or you're dealing with something that feels so painful that it makes you feel alone. But know that those moments are actually our triumphs. And I will talk about that theme a lot throughout every chapter in this book, because that's what having a fierce heart is. A fierce heart means that no matter what comes at me, I'm going to use it and I'm going to grow. And I love to tell stories, and I tell many stories from all around the world, from people from all walks of life. Because our stories really are the stories of our people, our ancestors. We all have a story of how we came to be who we are, right? If you were to write your own biography, there'd be times of suffering and tragedy, and then laughter and joy and triumph. I mean, that's what this life is about, is navigating through these difficulties. And I say this, the 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. It's actually the Buddha said that in a human life, you will encounter both. So blooming in the mud is our declaration. It says, I will rise, I will awaken, I will continue. And so that's what that chapter is meant to be. It's also really inspired a lot by Maya Angelou, who used to say, you know, so many of her worst moments became her glory. I love that. Worst moments, glory. So be inspired by that, no matter what your ethnicity, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your body type is, if you're able-bodied or you're not. Whoever, if you come from immigrant family, or you come from a family of wealthy people that looks great on the outside, but there was still all the violence on the inside, that whoever you are and wherever you come from, now is the time to bloom. So that's what this chapter is about. The first chapter, number 1. Thank you. Like this teaching, share it with your friends, subscribe below, and stay tuned for more teachings to come. Thank you.